Today, we will be covering progressive bulbar palsy and pseudobulbar palsy. Specifically, we will talk about its origin and pathophysiology, testing, signs and symptoms, treatment, rehab, and therapy, and the effect it has on the body's motor control. But first, we will discuss progressive bulbar palsy. Progressive bulbar palsy is a motor neuron disease that involves the brainstem, which is the bulb-shaped region containing lower motor neurons needed for swallowing, speaking, chewing. The exact cause of progressive bulbar palsy, or PBP, is unknown, but it is most commonly caused by a brainstem stroke or tumor. Progressive bulbar palsy is a lower motor neuron lesion of cranial nerves 9, 10, 11, and 12. Certain autoimmune diseases, genetic diseases, and degenerate disorders can also potentially result in the development of bulbar palsy. Stroke and myasthenia gravis may have certain symptoms that are similar to those progressive bulbar palsy and must be ruled out prior to diagnosing this disorder. Progressive bulbar palsy life expectancy ranges from 6 to 36 months after onset of symptoms.
Hi, how are you guys?
Doctor, how are you?
I'm good. Dr. Canada, I'm your doctor today.
Joe, I'm Mason's caregiver. Nice to meet you.
Here's my seat right there. So what brings you guys in today?
So Mason had a stroke about 3 months ago, and ever since, his speech, chewing and swallowing have all been an issue for him.
Okay. So I'm going to begin with asking a few questions. Have you noticed any facial twitching that he's had?
Yeah, especially on the left side.
Okay,
Yeah.
left side. And then any drooling that continues that at all?
Matter of fact, just a little bit,
No.
but it's not often. It's just a little bit here and there. But yeah.
Gotcha. And then since the stroke, have you noticed any progressive speech loss that he's had?
Yeah, definitely. I don't really know how else to explain it, but yeah, it's just kind of less and less each week, it seems like.
Okay. So from here, I think we're going to do a few tests. We're going to do the gag reflex and also see if you can protrude your tongue out at all. Before we do the gag reflex, I'm going to see if you can protrude your tongue out. So for that, just try to stick your tongue out as far as possible. And then that's as far out as you can get it. Okay. And then for the gag reflex, just try to open up your mouth as wide as possible. Okay, no gag reflex. The next test I want to do is the jaw jerk test. So for this test, just relax your mouth as much as possible. Everything looks good there. So with having no gag reflex and your inability to stick out your tongue and the negative jaw jerk test, my initial diagnosis would be progressive bulbar palsy, but we want to get an MRI and an EMG done to confirm that. To give you guys an idea of what you can expect if it does turn out to be progressive bulbar palsy, I want to go over some treatments and therapy that you may need. For treatment of it, it's symptom specific and supportive, and you can expect certain medications such as riluzole, intravenous immunoglobulin, and steroids. Other medications you may be prescribed would be to help reduce your fatigue, ease your muscle cramps, control spasticity, and reduce excess saliva and phlegm. For therapy, you can expect physical therapy to help improve posture, slow muscle atrophy, and aid joint mobility. And then spasticity can be reduced via strength and stretching exercises. Speech therapy and occupational therapy to assist with difficulties in chewing and swallowing are essential for management as well. Thank you guys for coming in, and we're going to have our speech pathologist in shortly to see you.
Thank you, doctor.
Hey guys, how's it going today?
Doctor, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
My name is Dr. Watts. I'm your speech language pathologist, and before we get started with some exercises today, I just wanted to let you know what to expect with progressive bulbar palsy. Some symptoms include pharyngeal muscle weakness, which is involved with swallowing, weak jaw and facial muscles, progressive loss of speech, tongue and muscle atrophy, spastic dysarthria, or difficulties with articulation, stammering or stuttering, limb weakness with both lower and upper motor neurons, signs almost always evident but less prominent. Individuals are at increased risk of choking and aspiration pneumonia. Affected persons may also have unusual outbursts of laughing or crying, which is called emotional lability. Alright, now that we've discussed what to expect, we can go over some exercises for you guys to do. Joe, I'd like you to do these with them as your caregiver. So the first exercise we're all going to do together is called tongue in and out, where you will try to protrude your tongue out as far as possible and hold for 2 seconds, and pull it back in, hold it for 2 seconds, and then repeat. Alright, can we do this together? Alright. Nice. Good job, guys. Alright, that helps to train the tongue to move in coordinated patterns, which will help with your speech. The next exercise I want you to try, Mason, is called the side-to-side tongue movement. You will open your mouth and move your tongue to touch the right corner of your mouth, hold for 2 seconds, and then touch the left corner of your mouth and hold for 2 seconds. Alright. Nice. Alright, then you would repeat that as well. The third exercise I want you to do is called smiles. This will incorporate facial muscles. All you're going to do is smile for 2 seconds, relax, and then repeat. Alright, let's do that. Well done. Alright, the last exercise we're going to do together is called lip puckers. You will start with the mouth relaxed, then pucker your lips like you're going to give a big kiss. And hold for 2 seconds, relax, and repeat. If that is easy, try puckering as slow as possible. Alright, we're going to do this together. Alright, 3, 2, 1. Well done, boys.
Good job, guys.
Now we're going to describe some of the key differences of pseudobulbar palsy from progressive bulbar palsy. Both can come from stroke or neurodegenerative diseases like ALS, but progressive bulbar palsy can also occur from tumors, autoimmune neuropathies, and infectious neuropathies. Pseudobulbar palsy can also occur from injury or malignancy of the high brain stem. PBP occurs from bilateral damage or injury from nerve nuclei of cranial nerve 9, 10, 11, or 12, or lower motor neuron palsy. Pseudobulbar palsy occurs from bilateral damage of corticobulbar tracts to nerve nuclei of cranial nerve 5, 7, 9, 10, 11, and 12, or upper motor neuron palsy. Some differences in clinical features of the pseudobulbar palsy are absent facial expressions, which we've seen earlier, spastic dysarthria, difficulty in tongue protrusion, an exaggerated gag reflex, an exaggerated jaw jerk, and emotional liability, which we would see as laughing out loud. Life expectancy of PBP is 6 to 36 months from onset of the symptoms, while pseudobulbar palsy is going to be 2 to 5 from the onset of symptoms.
Now that we've discussed what to expect, we can go over some exercises.
Intravenous immunoglobulin and steroids to prescribe your survival. Cut that.
How's it going today, guys?
Hi. Today we will be covering progressive bulbar palsy and pseudobulbar palsy. Specifically, we will talk about its origin and pathophysiology, testing, signs and symptoms, treatment, rehab, and therapy. The effect,
Now we're going to describe some of the key differences of pseudobulbar